Alright, so I just saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This movie right here. Let's talk about it. So, this is the fourth installment in the reboot portion of this franchise. This one's directed by Wes Ball, stars Owen Teague, Kevin Durand, Freya Allen, William H. Macy, and a whole host of other people. This franchise is huge. So you have the original 5 films that came out between 68 and 73, the Tim Burton movie that came out in 2001, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only person on the planet that likes that movie. It's not very good, but I like it. Fun trash. It's fun trash. I know it's terrible, but it tickles me. And then you have this reboot, which started in 2011 with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and then this one, which is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And then sprinkled somewhere in the 70s, I believe, is a television series. And then there was an animated series at some point. So yeah, this is like a nearly 60-year-old franchise, like older than Halloween. It's large. Do you need to watch all 5011 movies in order to get this one? No, at the very least, I recommend watching the one that came out in 2011, I believe it was, with James Franco. It's on Disney Plus / Hulu. It's also on another one. I want to say HBO Max. It might be on HBO Max, but I digress. At the very least, I recommend watching that one only because that's the only one I've watched. I've seen the original film that was years ago. But as far as this reboot series, the only one that I've seen is the first one with James Franco. I haven't seen the other ones, and I was able to follow along just fine. Sorry, spoiler alert for those who have not watched this reboot series. This takes place 300 years after the death of Caesar, and you have different clans of apes that exist now, and you have this Eagle clan, which is where Noah lives. Noah is the son of the keeper of the birds, I believe. They are a clan of apes that have bonded with eagles. That is their thing. That's what they do. And they end up losing a bit of a battle to an enemy clan, a coastal clan of apes who are power seeking and wanting human technology in order to grow, evolve, so to speak. Simple story, very easy to follow, kind of a hero's journey, follows that pattern almost to a T. You don't need to watch 2 and 3. I recommend watching 1. You don't need to. The movie is visually stunning. You can't go wrong with motion capture. I mean, as many movies as I've seen, and as many movies as there have been with motion capture, it will always impress me. It'll always be fascinating. The fact that you can take a human being, put them in a suit, put some dots on their face, and create something in a computer that it's fascinating to me. And Andy Serkis, who played Caesar in the original 3 films, is the king of motion capture. That's what he's most known for. The fact that the man has not been given an Oscar for his contributions is upsetting to me, because not only was he Caesar, he's also Gollum. He was King Kong in the Peter Jackson movie. He also played a human role in that movie as well. I mean, he's that dude. That was a bit of a tangent because Andy Serkis isn't in this movie, but I could, any opportunity I get to sing the man's praises, I'm going to do it. The movie's not bad. It's actually really good, visually stunning, easy to follow story, engaging story, action-packed. I think it's the visualness of the movie that just really sells it. But in spite of all of that, in spite of it being visually stunning, in spite of the performances being very good, in spite of, the storyline being engaging and easy to follow and simple, even for those who have not seen the original films, or the first 3 films, I should say, the previous 3 films, it's a big franchise. The movie, why is this here? This doesn't feel necessary. The whole point of this movie is to set us up for what's coming next. Again, this takes place 300 years after the death of Caesar. Why did we need this? It's worth a ticket, don't get me wrong. It just feels unnecessary. What was the point of this? We're not really continuing the storyline. This just feels kind of like a bridge. It feels like filler setting us up for something else. And I don't even know if I'm all that interested in seeing anything else. We have so many franchises right now that we have to keep up with. Do we really need another Planet of the Apes movie? But what I do love about this movie, the kind of central theme here, is that it's 300 years after the death of Caesar, right? I feel like I keep saying that. So Caesar is a person who kind of established the code of ethics, so to speak, with apes. The law, the way they're supposed to do things, apes being strong together, apes don't hurt other apes, apes coexisting with humans. Caesar established all of that. Well, 300 years later, and it seems that they have strayed from that original teaching. And just, this movie seems to be an effort for them to go back to their roots, remembering where you came from, remembering your core values. Remembering and acknowledging the foundation that was built. And also, it seems that these apes are coming into this understanding that things are not what they always thought they were. There's so much about themselves that they don't know, so much about their history that they were never told. And it seems like we're being set up for this great awakening when they realize that their dominance is potentially short-lived. Again, this movie felt like filler. It's good. It's good enough on its own. It feels like, Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix feels like filler to me. It's a movie that's really designed to be a bridge. It's good. Great, love it. Order of the Phoenix, I'm pretty sure, is my favorite out of the entire Harry Potter series, but it's really just a bridge. It's filler. It's designed to kind of bridge two parts of that franchise. That's what this feels like to me. This is a necessary bridge for what's to come later. My understanding of the franchise, this reboot portion of the franchise, is that this movie doesn't seem to be as engaging as the previous films. It's good enough on its own, and it definitely has the same spirit that I remember from that first one with James Franco. But it just seems a little more chill, if that makes sense. It's good. Decent. I just don't know why this is here.